You were never afraid of the dark. Even before you had the words, you felt the pull. A call from the void. Something deeper than thought and older than memory. So you followed it. Inside, it all came rushing in. Numbers, symbols, patterns. The cosmic code revealing itself in waves. Not to confuse you, but to remind you. You've seen this before. You've read this language in another life. Your mind began to understand. But it was your heart that truly remembered. This is what decoding really is. Reuniting the thinking and the feeling, the logic and the soul. This is how you wake up. And when you do, you are not the same. You carry light codes now. You move differently. You speak in frequencies because you remember who you are. You decode to find your way home and to help others do the same. This is why we decode. Namaste, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. It's Dr. Danny, physician astrologer. So we have some new channel members or channel subscribers now, and I'm worried that today's presentation might go over their head a little bit. So what I've done today is put together a shortish, I know it's me, a shortish presentation, weaving together previous presentations that we've done over the last month in order to focus in on the 16th and the 17th of May. Those 2 days are a big deal. Astrologically, numerologically, energetically, there's a lot of things going on for each day specifically. So we are going to look at the astrology and the numerology of both of those days. And the reason those days are so special numerologically, just if you just want to look at the surface of it, is that as we count our calendar days, our 365 or 366 day year, the 16th and the 17th are the 137th or 138th day, depending on if it's a leap year or not. So May 16th is 136 or 137. May 17th is 137 or 138. And May 18th is 138 or 139. So this is like the Phoenix portal, right? This is the fine structure, constant energy. This is the Phoenix of archaics, the astrological energy that comes through every 138 years. How's the sound, Ultimus? I put the mic just a little bit back. I didn't want to be in everyone's face with it. If it's still loud, I might even be able to go back a little bit. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Cool. All right, who's here today? Let's see. We have fellow traveler. Hello, my love. We have Ultimus giving me a 5x5. Thank you. Ultimus says, greetings, starseeds. I love that greeting. It's so nice. Pebbles is here. Hello, Pebbles. Christine Yan is here. Hello. Thanks for joining. Dr. Juan is here, my friend. So how have y'all been? It's been about 10 days since we got together on a live. We had company over the weekend, and it was really nice. It was wonderful to catch up and to spend time. And we did some wheeling around the neighborhood, which was a little bit harrowing, but it was fun. It was fun. It's what 350-year-old women do on a Saturday morning, whatever. It's fine, or Sunday morning, whatever that was. But yeah, we had a good time. I did create the video for you last week. I think it was the new moon video or the full moon video. Hopefully you guys saw that. And then I just released the Sun Uranus cycle, the divine metamorphosis. So if you have not checked out that video do plan to do that over the next few days because it is a long-term forecast. So it starts on the 17th of May and ends on the 22nd of May of next year. And we go over the major aspects between Sun and Uranus, as well as describe aspects that might be made back to your natal chart by both Sun and Uranus. So we're going to do a little bit of that today. Like I said, I'm pulling everything together. One, it's so funny that you put 555 in there because there is a 555 in this presentation. So there's the synchronicities right there. We have 19 already. I've missed you guys so much. So yeah, this is going to be a combination of decoding numerology and some tarot, a little alchemology, and then the astrology. So we'll read the charts for both the 16th and the 17th, and I will explain the slides as slowly and as clearly as I can, but I will be pointing you guys back to previous videos for those of you that are new to my channel. The 13th sign, Ophiuchus, and the astrology they don't want you to see is doing pretty well. I think I'm number 241st on Amazon's self-help list. Out of all of the books, I'm number 412,000th or something like that. So you guys need to get on it and get that book, and also leave me some wonderful reviews if you don't mind. That's available on my website, Dr. Danny. Oh, and then we started Stellar Foundations this week too, you guys. Wow, what this new group is so spunky. I'm so excited to see what they do with the astrology. And last time, every week I would give them a reflection and the sun moon rising for the week that we were in. So for week 1, which was Pluto and Scorpio and the 8th house, I said, here's your sun moon rising for Scorpio, and here's my personal reflection. Here's how I think about Pluto in my chart. And so today I was thinking, what can I add to that? How can I make that better? And I created a quick video for them where they can really dive into Pluto in their own chart. So I hope those of you that are in Stellar Foundations got the email or looked at the Facebook, because that video is really good. It's very sweet and to the point. It was like right when I got home this morning. So you can't see me, but I am teaching you how to work with Pluto in your chart. So, all right. Awesome. Awesome. Looks like we have more folks joining. Jackie Daly, Nickel Nichols, Brian Hardy, Vazteca Fitness. All right. We have a party here on Wednesday. Are you guys feeling the energy pick up a little bit? I don't know. The last couple of weeks, there's been an increase in chaos, an increase in intensity. And I attribute that to several things. I attribute that, number one, to the sun getting in closer proximity to Uranus. We're going to talk a lot about that in this presentation. I also attribute it to Mercury moving into the constellation of Aries. So when we go from dreamy, watery Pisces into the fiery heat of Aries, and that initiatory spark, the wanting to have, all the ideas coming in, that's Mercury. So a lot of new ideas coming in, a little bit of chaos in the mix with Uranus. And then, of course, we still have Venus in Pisces. But by this weekend, all the spells from that deep, watery Pisces wave that we went through in March and April should be receding from us. So in other words, Venus is also moving out of her shadow period. So again, things are going to be picking up, moving a little more quickly. Sun and Uranus and Jupiter and Mercury and Venus and the sun are all going to be in the stars of Taurus, all around each other. A lot of very generous, abundant, and wonderful energy coming. So let's see, we have 26. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the sky. Because those of you that are not familiar with my work, I use constellational astrology, not Vedic, not tropical, but the actual sky. It just simplifies it for me. And what's so amazing about constellational astrology is you don't actually lose any of the Hermetic or Gnostic teachings. In fact, they become more potent because now there's actually a place in the chart for that transcendence to occur, and that's Ophiuchus. And that's what that book's all about. That's what my teachings are all about, going through this journey, this cosmic healer's last incarnation journey, where you realize that you are more than just your physical body. You are more than just your mind. You are, an immortal soul just moving through here, having an experience. And so when things get crazy and wild, you can go inward and you can say, it's all just a dream. It's all just a dream. We're okay. And astrology at least has helped me do that. And it's helped many people that I know and that I have worked with also do that. So that's why I love the constellations. So let's go into the screen. I'm going to share the sky with you because I don't have to, you don't have to take my word for it. We want to actually look up. So if you could actually dim the sky, because this is what it really looks like, right? It's a bright sky. You can't see the constellations. All you can see is the sun. But with technology, with the age that we're moving into, where we have data, any kind of information that we want right at our fingertips, there's no excuse to not use technology with your astrology practice. And so I like stellarium-web.org. You can go in here. It's a free website. You can also download the app. And it will give you the current date, but you can go forward and backward in time like this. And I've gone all the way back to year 0001 just to see what the sky looked like, just to prove precession to myself. And indeed, it's very interesting to observe. So what you can do is take out the atmosphere and look, we have the night sky, but with the sun in it instead. And we put the constellations in to orient us. And here it is, Sun and Uranus right here at the very beginning of Taurus, right there next to the Pleiades. So this is a really interesting energy too. We're going to talk about the Pleiades just a little bit because it adds another level of mystical. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Ridiculous Six, but there was this phrase that they kept saying during the movie. That's some mystical shit, right? So this is what this feels like to me. Uranus is the cosmic code breaker, and here you have these cosmic or alien codes coming in from the Pleiades at the same time, all through the energy of our sun. What's so interesting about right now, though, where the sun is in the actual sky, is that it agrees with the tropical, but only for a few days, only for about a week. So their tropical Taurus ends here and begins back here in Aries. So if you're a Taurus sun in tropical astrology, you might actually be in Aries. So if you want to go to my free chart calculator on my website, you can just go right there, put in your details, and look for the sun symbol, and you will see where your sun actually was. Another exercise you can do is go out on your birthday and take the night sky app if you have a smartphone and point it at the sun. Don't look directly at the sun, but if you point it at the sun, even in a building, like you could be inside a room and point your smartphone at the sun or towards the sun, you can see on your birthday what constellation the sun is in, just to prove that to yourself. So here we have it. This is the 16th. So there's several special things happening on the 16th. Number one, this is the Moon Sun Phoenix angle. So I've talked to you guys about aspects. We talk about squares, we talk about trines, we talk about conjunctions and oppositions. But the Phoenix angle, or the Golden Phoenix angle, I still haven't thought of a name. You guys are going to help me decide today because I'm tired of saying two different names. So this day, the 16th, is when the moon makes that aspect with the sun. And what's special about that angle that day is the sun is conjunct Uranus. They're within 1 degree of one another, and that's a very, very tight orb. So we have this golden angle back to, or this Phoenix angle back to the sun with the moon this day. And I've been keeping a journal of these Phoenix angles for myself because I'm researching this Phoenix angle. It's a numerical oddity, and it's amazing the way it ties into the decodes that I do. And I did find that last month's approaching Phoenix angle, which was on April 16th, was a really interesting day for me. A lot of hiccups, a lot of weird electrical abnormalities going on. It wasn't a comfortable day. The sun was in Aries. I got a migraine that day. So I want to be ready for these. I want to use them in a way that's constructive and helpful. And I think maybe with this Pleiades energy, with this Uranus energy, with this sun energy, and a little bit of this decoding, maybe we can kind of work out what this Phoenix angle means. So that's that. And then also on this day, okay, so if that wasn't enough, also on this day is the 55th day, which is a Fibonacci number, from the Venus star point in Pisces when she was retrograde on March 22nd. So we're counting Fibonacci days away from that because there is a spiral energetic ripple from that energetic event of Venus being so close to Earth. Okay, there's definitely an energetic wave that comes through and it spirals out and it comes in a Fibonacci sequence. So that is also day 55. And one more thing happens on the 16th. Venus is out of shadow from retrograde. So she finally makes it to 21 degrees Pisces if you're using midpoint boundaries, and is out of the wave or the mud or the fog of the retrograde. So a clarity for our creative energy, a clarity for our relationships, a clarity within our imagination. Definitely, I expect that after Friday. So all of that is happening on the 16th. And that is day 136 or 137 if it's a leap year. So now if we advance just one day, there's so much more happening. Sun and Uranus are perfecting this conjunction. Okay, so this is 0 degrees, Sun and Uranus. And we're going to dive deep into the astrology of this, as well as the Pleiadian energy, as well as the numerology around it. This day is 137 on a normal year and 138 on a leap year. So this right here is the Phoenix Day. That's it. It's right here. So we have a bunch to talk about today. That is the sky. I just wanted you to see that for yourselves, that even though it's just one day, it's packed with all of this code and spiraling and geometry and erratic, vibratory, chaotic energy. So I'm excited to dive into this with you guys. All right, let's open the PowerPoint. It's short-ish. It's about 84 slides. And I might not be as lucid as I normally am. We'll see. I did work yesterday. Sometimes my best energies come through when I'm post-call. So let's open this up. Uh-oh, I hope my computer doesn't crash. Yikes. All right, guys. Well, bear with me for a second. I'm having the circle of death. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, good. You'll be proud of me, Ultimus. I didn't start clicking things right away. All right, this is moving very slowly. Can you guys see the PowerPoint okay? Am I coming in okay? Just give me a thumbs up. I might have to escape and shut some things down. What was so funny about doing that Pluto video earlier today is that sometimes when you're an astrologer, your own chart is a blind spot. It's actually quite funny. I'm just hoping my computer doesn't crash. Trying to, because it's not responding at the moment in terms of the PowerPoint. So I was going to escape and close some things, but we're just going to be patient with it. But what I was looking at was my own, I can't believe I have a black screen right now. It was my own Pluto energy. I took it through and I said, this is how you investigate your own Pluto. And I discovered quite a few interesting things about me. Oh no, this is not good. Yeah, I might be going through an update. I have a black screen. I'm not sure what to do. I've hit escape a couple times. There we go. Okay, let me do this. Now that we have that, we can close some things. We'll close that. We'll close that. Close that. Don't save. It could just be a memory thing, you know, as you use your laptop more and more, the memory ends up being used up. So, okay. We might be good to go here. Let me close that. That's a big one. Okay. All right. Sorry, guys. Let's see if we can rock and roll now. Seems to be much better. Okay. All right. Let's pick a new color for this pen because it matches the slides. There we go. All right. So the Phoenix Portal, May 16th, May 17th. We're going to get into it. I'm going to show you, we're going to talk about these topics. So I've already gone into why this is the yearly Phoenix portal, but I'm going to show you as well. So we'll go into that. I'm going to review with you Pi Phi, the fine structure constant, why it's magical, why I'm using it. We're going to look at the moon-sun golden angle. Basically, the 16th and the 17th is moon-sun golden angle, and then day 55. And then we'll look at the 17th, which is the Phoenix day, and the Sun-Uranus conjunction. And then you guys, we're going to decode the golden angle, and we're going to decode the Phoenix angle, and we're going to decide which one we want to use. So let's start with this yearly Phoenix portal. Let me show you. Let me just show you, because I'm a visual learner. I have to see things. You can get this chart from cosmicsugar.org under resources, or you can just ask the internet what day of the year is May 17th. And if you put in 2025, you're going to get 137. So I've just blown it up here. This is May 17th day of the year. 138 would be the leap year. This is the 16th, and this is the 18th. So you can see it. The Phoenix day, May 17th. On May 17th is that Sun-Uranus yearly conjunction. This is a 370-day cycle that I go into on that video that I'll refer you to in the description. There's some numerology around that too, which we're going to look at today. This is the day before, May 16th, is the Moon-Sun Phoenix aspect or golden aspect. There's a 137.5 degree difference with respect to the center between Moon and Sun right here. So that was easy. We've already gone through that. All right, now we're going to look at Pi Phi and the fine structure constant. Now, I will refer those of you who have not seen this video, the Rapid Fire Astrology and New Timeline 2025, to put that also in your watch later bucket. That came out on April 20th. That is basically a breakdown of this particular graphic. I'm not going to do that with you today, but once you see that video, then when you see this graphic again, it will be clear to you what we're doing and how we are working with it. Just briefly, though, I'm going to take away Mercury and Venus. So I'm going to explain them really quickly because we are looking at this day right here, which is the 16th and the 17th. And Venus has a lot to do with that day as well. And remember, in the introduction, I told you we were counting backward and forward in time from the Venus star point, which was March 22nd of 2025. So 425 was 34 days from that point. May 16th is 55 days from that point. So these are Fibonacci numbers, and they're counting out. And they get farther and farther away because the way you get the next Fibonacci number is by adding these two numbers together. So you would take 89 plus 144, and you get 233. Now, in my Venus updates and my Venus forecast videos, I explain to you why the Fibonacci sequence is so important for working with Venus, understanding Venus, because she actually is the spark. Her orbit with Earth and Sun is the spark for the golden ratio, which is the underlying code for the creation of matter. Okay, Venus is spirit into matter, and those orbits create this energetic dance in a Fibonacci way that creates this golden ratio that where matter accumulates. Okay, that's basically how it works. So day 55 is 55 days away from that Venus star point. Okay, and then we can see Mercury's cycle. We're going to have a superior conjunction here. And then over here, we're going to have the second conjunction, which is the inferior conjunction between the retrograde, which starts on July 18th. So that's just to get you oriented. This is just a timeline. That's all it is, with certain events marked out so that we know when they're coming. And there's a lot of different variations on this timeline. For example, just to explain the Fibonacci sequence, you can see it here. Venus and Earth create a 5-pointed star in 8 years with 13 Venus orbits. So this is why it's the sort of the seed that creates the golden ratio. As these numbers get larger and larger and larger and approach infinity, they create an irrational number called the golden ratio. And this ratio, this infinite number, can be used as an alphanumeric cipher. And I love doing that because when you put phi in the phi cipher, you get a Fibonacci number. Venus stations direct is 89, which is a Fibonacci number. So this is from a previous decode, but that's why we're doing that. just as a refresher for you guys. So I'm taking all that out. I just want to look at the lunar cycles, the lunar numbers, the two different cycles that we went over in the lunar codes video. That came out on the 28th. There's a slide for that referring to. It's also in the description. But there's two different time frames that we can look at. One of them is completely obvious. We see it every single month. It's the synodic lunar cycle. This is a phase to phase cycle. So from new moon to new moon, full moon to full moon, first quarter to first quarter, you're going to get 29.5 days. Now, that's the obvious one. That's the one we can see. We also have one that's a little more subtle because this one is with the moon with respect to the sun. So every time the moon meets back up with the sun again, this is a 29.5 day period of time. So if you fix the sun as a reference frame and you just let the moon move, then you have a 29 days. Now, if you fix the stars and you let the moon move and then come back to that same star, so the reference frame is now the stars instead of the sun, you get a shorter cycle called a sidereal lunar cycle. That is 27.3 days. Now, both of these time frames are so interesting. Okay, so what I realized, and I had highlighted this 2 years ago, but I did the Symphony of the Spheres video. I don't think I linked that below, but what I found in the research for that video was that there are 137 synodic periods in one solar cycle, which is 11 years. Currently, we are at the peak of solar cycle 25. So 137 new moons ago was the peak of solar cycle 24, or at least that's how it seems to play out. And I just find that fascinating. This isn't spooky. This isn't magical. This isn't me pulling out cards, although I can pull out cards, but this is just how the cycles actually line up. There is a scaling of these numbers through the very small to the very, very large. The fine structure constant, 137.5, is a constant that we see when we are working with the very, very small, when we're working with electrons and protons and neutrons. Okay, there's this constant that is present that is so finely tuned that atoms wouldn't stick, or electrons and atoms wouldn't stick together. Chemistry wouldn't happen. We wouldn't have carbon if this constant didn't exist. And so if we can see that at the atomic scale, and then we see it here on the planetary scale, you can betcha it's affecting you in your everyday life in some form or fashion. And so here we are, we're at the daily cycles and we're in them. So we're going to break down one of these cycles, or I already have. So now here's another very useful and interesting formula or calculation. It's very simple. I'm taking the fine structure constant and I'm dividing it by pi, which is our circle, and phi, which is our spiral. And I'm getting the sidereal lunar cycle. Isn't that interesting? So we have the fine structure constant, we have pi and phi being borne out in these solely lunar cycles. Moreover, in these lunar cycles, the moon is really, really important when it comes to these cycles and analyzing things numerologically. Now, what are pi and phi? So phi is simply a ratio between two distances such that that distance equals this number. Okay, and it helps you figure out other things. There's more complex mathematics behind it, but this is essentially all that we really need to understand when we're thinking about these constants and why we're working with them. And then when we think about pi, it's a very similar energy. It's very easy to just sort of visualize it. This, where C is the circumference and D is the diameter. If you divide C by D, you get that 3.141, etc. And these are irrational numbers. These are numbers where their digits don't repeat and they continue on infinitely. And then, of course, alpha is the fine structure constant, 1/137.3. So how do you tie all this together, and why are you showing us geometry and math? Well, because geometry and math are sort of what governs why things move, why things take form. You know, if you have a thought, it enters this structured ether that on its smallest scale has these platonic solids and sacred geometries. That thought oscillates the field, creates waves, which is the circling or the spiraling circle. It creates waves and wavelengths and frequencies. And that's where you get your vibrations from. This is the root of it right here. And I think it was Lady Spellbreaker who showed me this, that there's this, if you do that same thing that you do with distance right here with the golden ratio and you apply it to a circle. So in other words, we're taking this concept of ratio of lengths and we're putting it onto a circle in this picture. The angle, if we do it so that they make a complete circle, their ratio is 1.618. This angle is exactly the fine structure constant. It's 137.5. I mean, that's just beautiful to me. That's just amazing. And this is why I decode, because of these numbers, they fall out everywhere. I've always been a decoder. I've always loved to see how numbers come together. But ever since I learned Logan's with Decode Your Reality, his method, it's just opened up a whole new layer of amazing to me. I can't, sometimes I just laugh and sometimes I'm like, of course that is what it is. The other interesting thing about 137 is it is the 33rd prime number. 33 comes out in lunar cycles too, and I'm going to show you that shortly. And then pi and phi, you just say those words in the phi cipher. Remember that alphanumeric cipher made from the string of digits of the irrational number of the golden ratio. You put that in there and you get 33. So pi is 12 and phi is 21. Just remember that. Okay, so that's that. That's why we love that. There's so much more. I just gave you the highlights with that. There's so many other ways that those numbers are connected to one another into astrology. And in my previous videos and decodes, I do go through that. So let's look at this moon-sun golden angle. I'm going to pop my coffee. There we go. I will refer you to this video. It's linked below. I did this on April 28th. It's called Lunar Codes. And I analyzed the synodic lunar cycle, that phase-to-phase time frame of 29.5 days, to see when exactly this angle would show up, this 137.5 degree angle. What were the days that it would show up? May 8th was the last one. There's approximately 7 days between these two phoenix angles to the sun, but there's 11 days between the new moon and the departing phoenix angle, and 11 days between the approaching phoenix angle and the next new moon. So our next new moon is May 26th, and May 16th, day 136, day 137, is the day that the moon will make this aspect. This is only a few hours. But because Uranus is up here, this might be a day where we really need to check into our nervous system to see what we can change, what we can get away with in terms of evolving or rapidly getting a sense of the coding around us, the synchronicities around us. This is a composite slide of everything that I figured out from analyzing this cycle, just numerically in terms of time and distance. And the days that it takes for the moon to make that transit from this phoenix angle back to the new moon is about 11 days, okay? Which is 1/33 of a year. So 11 days is 1/33 of a year. Sun in the Chaldean cipher is 365 days. So, and Chaldean numerology is associated with the vibration of the letters, not necessarily like their frequency in terms of how often they occur or their order, like the gematria cipher. This is more like the S makes a certain sound, so it gets 3. U is a certain sound, so it gets 6. But it's so interesting that SUN is 365. And that distance, okay, so this phoenix angle, this golden angle that's tied to pi, tied to phi, tied to the circle and the spiral, creating a 137.5 degree angle with respect to moon and sun, is 11 days away from the next lunar cycle, which is a 33rd of the year. Now, the sun will move 1/33 of a circle because the sun describes the circle. The sun's journey is 1 year. And so the distance the sun moves in that time from the this angle to the new moon is also 1/33 of the circle. So there's your 33. There's all of that connected to pi, to phi, to alpha, to the sun, and to the moon. Okay. Now this slide, this is to show you, to give you a sense of timing where we're going to run into other planetary energies. So this timeline, devoid of the Venus and the Mercury energy, shows us May 17th. And the color coding describes what sign we are in, what constellation we are in. The sun is the timekeeper of this chart. So every time you see this chart, when I tell a date to you, like when we get to the full moon in Ophiuchus, the sun will have moved to this spot. So the sun will be our timekeeper as we go through this graph in linear time. So on the 17th, you can see Mercury's back here in Aries. Jupiter is right here at the end of Taurus. And Mars is right here at the end of Cancer. This lighter line underneath is the tropical signs. Okay, I wanted to make sure that those of you that are, excuse me, studying tropical are not too disoriented. But this is what I'm talking about. These few days right here is when we're all in Taurus energy. So we are in the tropical sign of Taurus, and we are in the actual constellation of Taurus for both systems. So I'm very excited about that because we can all enjoy Taurian energy. All right, so you can see where all these planets are. The green arrow points to the day that we are talking about, one of the days that we're talking about, just to orient you to the map. And we're going to zoom in here in a few slides. I'm not exactly sure which one it was. Oh, here we go. We're zooming in right now because I wanted to show you the Phoenix energy that I got from analyzing that lunar cycle. So all of this energy comes from the lunar codes video. And from our last new moon in Aries to the 5/8 Phoenix angle, moon and sun was 11 days. And then we had the full moon in between. And then from the 16th to the next new moon is another 11 days. That's just to show you the pattern so that you don't actually have to look at a chart. You can go from the new moon, count 11 days, and that will be a golden Phoenix day. So you don't even need a chart. You just need to know when the new moon is. That's why I did that. But on the 16th, again, we have that day 55 for Venus. We also have her going out of shadow. And then we have the moon, sun, Phoenix, golden angle. And then we have the sun Uranus conjunction, which is day 138, 137. Okay, so beautiful things coming together here in this portal. Let's move on to day 55, and let's talk a little bit about Venus. We're going to get to a chart here in a minute, and then we're gonna dive into the astrology. But let's see what. Oh, here we go. We're right here on that day. So this is May 16th of 2025. This is you can see the golden Phoenix aspect right here. We have moon to sun and Uranus. So, I mean, this is a quick day. This is going to be in and out. This is Friday. All right. This feels like it's, I have some things written down, so I'm just going to free flow with you guys here. This is when the geometry of the cosmos syncs with the hidden math of creation. Okay. This is a moon in Sagittarius, forming that 137.5 degree angle to the sun, and Uranus in Taurus. So I feel like this is a release energy. There's a spiral unwinding of an emotional density. As you know, as the moon moves through this darker spot of the sky, Scorpio and Ophiuchus, as we move through these first few degrees of Sagittarius and into the 16th of May, there might be a release. It might be unexpected. It might be a shock because Uranus is involved. Then we also have the Pleiades right here. So the star Alcyon and sun and moon and sun and Uranus are right here. We saw that in the sky. And this adds a layer of like stellar energy, cosmic energy. There's a few names that the Pleiades have had throughout time, and one of them is the Gate of Souls, the cradle of cosmic wisdom, and the temple of the divine feminine. So a lot of really spiritual, really powerful energy. There are channels living amongst us, star seeds, walk-ins that either channel information from the Pleiades or are from the Pleiades themselves. So this is going to be a powerful day, a powerful weekend for you guys, I believe. So I think this aspect will perhaps for some of us who have not awakened to our Pleiadian origins or the wisdom of the Pleiades, there might be an opportunity for some of that to sort of come in, right? Like, you're sitting in the earth because we're in Taurus, it's an earth sign, and then all of a sudden you get this like cosmic download. So it's amazing. It's the cradle of cosmic. There's a frequency to memory, resonance, and the return of sacred timing. And so now the moon is doing this spiral energy because 137.5 is associated to the golden. It's associated to that spiral, that phi ratio. So we're spiraling down from the full moon into the new moon. This is a waning gibbous moon. And it's the frequency of freedom, right? Uranus is about freedom. There's an encoded remembrance. There's a soul fire here because of the fire energy of the moon. And so Sagittarius, it's about speaking truth. So here is a rising type of, so we've gone through the galactic center, the phoenix energy of the galactic center. And now it's a rising energy, rising of the phoenix. That's Sagittarius in this first half of it. Okay, so it's just so appropriate that we're hitting Sun and Uranus, and there's just this erratic, crazy manifestation of that. So I just want you guys to be ready for that. If nothing happens, cool. If nothing happens, let me know, because like I said, I am researching this angle and I want to get as much information as I can so that I can do good advice when it comes around. All right, let's see. It's also Venus's 55th day from her star point. So this is Venus. If you look up here where she is located, at 21 degrees. This is where she stationed retrograde at the beginning of March. And so when you pass the degree you've gone retrograde, you are now out of the shadow. So she literally went from here all the way to 5 degrees, turned back around, and now she's here. Okay, so that loop is done. We are closing a loop here. Something is completing here, and it's the beginning of the end of something. That's basically what this feels like. It's a clearing of the shadow. It is, once again, 55 days after the Venus star point. So if you feel the 5-5 energy here, it's a wild energy. It wants to explore and to learn and to break free, and there's a new level of yearning for knowledge, yearning for new ideas, yearning for new creativity. There's also relationship energy around Venus. So those of you that have been kind of in and out with a relationship, or maybe your Facebook page says it's complicated, it's about, kind of closing that loop as well. What have you learned through the give and the take, through the ebb and the flow of the relationship? And now now you remember. So it can be a powerful release moment, kind of finally closing the loop, tying the bow. Let's see if there's anything else here I have. Yeah, this is crazy. So ask yourself, those of you with the relationship issues, what have you learned about love since March? What has become clear about your needs, your art, your creativity, your integrity, and what's been quietly rewriting itself behind the scenes? Because that's what Pisces does. Everything that we've been doing here with Venus energy the last couple of months has been under the surface. And so as she goes from this end of shadow to entering into Aries, she's rising to the surface of the water. So very beautiful energy. It's going to feel better and better every single day. So that's that day. All of that's pretty amazing. We should feel an intense shift. Definitely go see this video that I put out on May 3rd. I talk about all of this. I talk about day 55. I decoded a little bit. Actually, I'm going to go through that again, I think, in this presentation. And then also all the way up to Venus entering Aries. So Venus in general over this weekend is going to start feeling lighter and lighter and lighter. That's what I think, because her only aspect is a trine to Mars. And that's nice. Like that's a nice energy, especially as Mars starts moving into Leo. He's going to go from this sort of sideways walking Cancer energy to a right out there on bended knee with heart on his sleeve type energy early next week. So I think it's going to feel really good. A lot of ideas and inspirations are going to come through. All right, let's look at this real quick. This day 55. This was on this video, so these are recycled slides. This is what I've pulled out of that video. If you want to watch the whole thing, you can go ahead and check it out from the 3rd. So the card for May 16th is the 3 of Diamonds, which is the 29th card of the Cards of Illumination deck. The 29th element is copper, and this is Venus's hair. So this is just to sort of show you how when you start to look, when you have the eyes to see, you can bring out connections that normally wouldn't be obvious. But when you see them, it's just like, how can they not be connected? How could this not be a truth? When you Google like what is Venus's element, you're going to get copper. But maybe now we know why, because on a day of her resonance, the field pops up a card for us that takes us right back to copper, the color of her hair. Copper is an amazing metal. I have copper in almost all of my organite pyramids. I use it to wrap my crystals. You can put little plugs in your shoes to align your meridians. It's a very conductive metal, not just of electricity, but also of spiritual energy. So copper jewelry is also very good. The other thing is, again, this day is this portal right here. So I just wanted to show you that. All right. Oh, and then this was fun. 29. If you want to go to sabidium.com, you can take the numeric string of pi and search for any set of digits. So what I did is I typed in 29 into the input field and I hit search, and it showed up at the 713th digit, which, in numerology, it's a permutation of 137, which I loved that. Because it just goes right back into the code, right back into the spiral, right back into this portal that is this day. 713, if you take it into the phi string of digits, is the 317th decimal digit of phi. So that's pretty cool. You can transpose the digits once again to the 137. But if that's a little too hocus pocus for you, we can just go right back to the 137 with 317. Okay, so it's all tied in. It's all connected through this code, through the 137, the 138. It's just amazing. It's fascinating. And once again, 137 is the 33rd prime, and pi and phi are 33. So you see my amazement, you see my awe at the work that I'm doing, the research that I'm doing, and when I find out, that the moon takes 133rd of a year to create that angle that is 137.5 degrees, it just blows my mind. All right, just a couple more thoughts. We're going to go through the Sun-Uranus conjunction. This is a once-a-year event. In this video right here, I go through rapid fire each of the aspects. So we'll take a little bit more time in this video just to really see what this conjunction feels like, okay? This is what it will look like. And again, in this example and in that video, I am using the Sun as the anchor, or Uranus as the anchor point, the point of reference. So it is the Sun moving with respect to Uranus, just like we had Sun being the anchor point for Moon. And this occurs on day 137, day 138, May 17th. And it's near the Pleiades. So I feel like this is starseed voltage, you guys, but being grounded in the physical. So all of your think of all of your things, all of your nouns, your stuff, your house, your money, your car, the things that you value, the things that you hold dear in this world. There is an electric shock coming through, like a solar flare energy, a high-speed solar windstorm, something like that. Uranus disrupts what is stagnant in the realm of form, value, and embodiment. Okay, so as things come through, as things break up because of this erratic Uranus energy, you're going to need to ground. You're going to need to ground this cosmic energy within your body. So spiritual practices that help you do that. If you need to root your feet, go out barefoot, grounding shoes, get those copper plugs for your shoes, things like that. Hug a tree,
take in the cosmic information, but have sunlight on your face, have sunlight on your body when you do it. Because connecting into the body, especially while Uranus is in Taurus for these next 11 years, is really critical. If your nervous system is not, if you don't know how to soothe your own nervous system, okay, this is important. If you don't know how to soothe your own nervous system, these changes are not going to feel very good. You could even have health problems because your nervous system is so fried and frazzled from all the upgrades and all the high density energy that is coming in right now, with the sun being at the peak of the cycle, conjunct Uranus, the Phoenix day. Like, there's so much here that could be unpredictable. I'm not quite sure exactly what to expect, other than we need to keep our nervous system as calm as possible. So I have to work this day, so I'm going to be doing some woo-saw while I'm waiting for things to happen. So I would begin like a sensory-based ritual, body movement, breath work, journaling, centered on what you value now, right? So for me, in any situation, gratitude is the best grounding medicine. If you're feeling like life's not fair and you're a victim and people are after you, change your attitude in 2 seconds by finding something to be grateful for, and that will literally ground you in the right here, right now. And that's how you can rewire your definition of safety as these intense cosmic downloads come in. So here's that day. And, Lilith, I didn't bring this up on the 16th, but for the 17th and the 16th, and for the better part of the whole year, this black moon Lilith is going to be in opposition to Uranus. Okay, so you've got black moon Lilith in the scales of Libra being judged. Okay, so you have this deep, dark, suppressed, untamed, wild, creative, feminine energy that is being judged in the halls of Libra, that is opposing the erratic, wild, expressive, disruptive energy of Uranus and Sun. So we need to have a balance here, right? We're going to want to, we may even have moments where we want to break things on purpose, the way this Libra Lilith is going to feel. Libra isn't all, I don't know what they've been telling you guys, but Libra isn't necessarily all about love and harmony and balance and diplomacy. It's actually kind of being boxed into walking one straight path, like the only path. That's the only, like a tight wire. And for energy like Lilith and Uranus, very hard to do, because they don't like boundaries. They can't. They don't want boundaries. So we have to figure out a way to find boundaries that help support the expression of this energy and keep us balanced. It's amazing. Let's see. So by this time, the moon will have moved, literally just in one day, the moon will have moved close enough to create a trine with moon, or with Uranus and Sun, with Pluto. So now we have moon Pluto, which is an emotional powerhouse here, in a nice trine aspect to that erratic, expressive energy, cosmic downloads through the Pleiades. Whew, it's I really think what I said before about the nervous system is going to be the way to manage all of this. We have to be real with what we're feeling, and we have to be okay with it. Like, you have to laugh at yourself. Laughter is another great way to ground yourself. If you find yourself reacting in strange ways, or having thoughts that maybe are not, or maybe they're foreign to your mind, you're not used to thinking thoughts like that, you can always say to yourself, okay, where'd that come from? And laugh at it or make fun of it, separate yourself from it in a way if you can. Pluto's really good at doing that. So is Uranus, actually. But this is a powerful metamorphosis. This is a deep-seated freedom that we're seeking here. All of these planets that are interconnected with this opposition to Sun, and then Pluto and Moon here, all of this is about breaking free, about getting to the root of the matter, getting to the truth of it, and being fully expressive and fully in that moment as the unique and divine expression of it. So, wow. What an interesting weekend. Yeah, I have to work Saturday, but Sunday I'm off. So we'll see. I might have to go into sort of like what I do sometimes when work gets really bad is I'll go into what I like to call
backseat driver mode. I literally just sit in the backseat and I'm like, Spirit, you drive. I'm not here today. And I let Spirit take over. So I might have to do that this weekend for all the insanity we're about to see. Now, some of you, the current sun may be making a conjunction to your natal Uranus, although I doubt it, unless you were born very recently or 84 years ago. So, I'm sorry. Because many of you will not have Uranus in Taurus right now. Now, as the sun moves into Virgo and into Libra and into the galactic center later in the year, the sun will conjunct all of our natal Uranuses. Okay. This is going to feel like a breakthrough of energy. There's like an identity awakening. There's a creative disruption. This is the beginning of a personal Uranus cycle. So there's going to be a whole wave of people coming up as sun moves through Leo. All of you Leo Uranuses, those of you that were born prior to 68, I want to say, will be getting this identity and disruptive surge. And that will be coming, let's see, when is that? That is Leo. Yeah, so it'll be the end of August. Now, some of us could be having Uranus conjunct our natal sun. So like if your birthday is May 17th, on or about, then Uranus is conjunct your natal sun right now. This stays there for several years. Uranus is a very slow moving planet. It takes about 12 years to move through a sign. So Uranus is going to hang out there for about 2 years probably. And this is an ego disruption, but also there's that liberation energy again, asking you to like wake up to your authentic self. Your nervous system gets an upgrade too, where you maybe can handle a little bit more than you used to. So, if Uranus is right now over your natal sun, you are definitely getting a nervous system upgrade. So again, I think this year for you, and probably the next 11 years, is going to be about grounding these cosmic downloads that you're going to be receiving as Uranus moves through Taurus. So like I said, it's a 370-day cycle, just a little bit longer than a year because Uranus will move about 4 degrees per year. And I went ahead and I just put 370 days into the Phi cipher just to see what number I would get. And I got 120. And I was like, okay, that's a very symmetric number. It's 1/3 of 360. It's divisible by a lot of prime numbers. 12 is one of those sacred numbers. In numerology, you can take away the 0. And I did that. And I wanted to see where 12 showed up in the Phi string of digits. And it was 831, which I was like, wow, all right, very cool. So there's your 138, 137. They're basically the same number. And then if you just type in May 17, you get the number 33. And of course, I don't know how many times I have to. Oh, Pleiades is 33 also. So here we are, just tying all of this energy together through these beautiful synchronicities, through this very powerful day, this powerful portal, this powerful weekend we're about to embark on. Once again, 33rd prime. And here it is. Here's the 555. So this is where all the electricity is going to come from, I think. 370 is the 555th decimal digit of pi. You can also go to cosmicsugar.org, and under numerology, you can get the assets and liabilities of the number 5. But again, here's that message of freedom, adventure, versatility, dynamic energy, exploring new horizons, but also being adaptable and resourceful. So here's where I've always said we need to be nimble while Uranus is in Taurus. We can't be so attached to things. We need to be ready to let go and do the next thing if that's what we're being called to do. That way we can thrive in all kinds of situations, so open-mindedness, curiosity, those are the ways to use this 5 energy. It's also about communication too. So you want to speak clearly, you want to listen. Taurus energy is all about that as well. Now, some of the liabilities is, again, this is nervous system energy. It's restlessness, impulsiveness, not being able to sit with your body. When it's unchecked, it can lead to avoiding commitments, being scatterbrained, forgetting things. You can't settle down. You can't stop. You can't do a long-term project. You're easily distracted and crave constant excitement. So
you're craving freedom, but you're creating your own sort of jail by not, checking in and taking care of your nervous system during this time. And that's where the liabilities of this 5 energy may pop up. So I just think that's so super synchronous too. That, the 370-day cycle is the 555, and we have this 5 energy times 3. So triple the energy of what I just told you. Uranus sun is 370, which, it's the minus the 0. It's pretty cool. The 37th card of the deck of the tarot is the Ace of Cups, which is a nice card to have come up. It means that, water is about emotions. And so if we have good control over our emotions, then the abundance will overflow. We should be full of inspiration. This card equals the Ace of Hearts in the Cards of Illumination, which is card number 1. And hopefully I don't have to point out the 1, the 3, and the 7 that showed up right there. So you see, isn't that amazing? Isn't this cool? This just comes along as I'm, just doing a little astrology, and I'm like, okay, what would this day be? Let's put this in and see what happens. So I need y'all's help. I need to figure out what I want to say about this angle, because, the words we use are so important. And I feel like there's an embodiment of 2 types of energy. I've got the golden angle on one hand, which shows the symmetry, the sacred geometry, the spirituality, the mysticism behind it. But then I've also got this phoenix angle, which burns things, which rises from the ashes, which jolts you into consciousness. And so I wonder, is it both? Could it be that the approaching angle is one version and then the departing angle is the other version? Maybe they are a dualistic, maybe the angle itself is a dualistic nature. So I went ahead and I just said, okay, let's see what it would be in the Phi cipher. This is kind of a weak connection, but I just wanted to show you what I came up with. So the golden angle, 59. Now, Uranus sun is 37. We've been talking about Uranus sun. Rubidium is also 37. If we put Rubidius in classical Latin into that cipher, we get the number 59. So there's a intellectual historical agreement that the golden angle, especially from the classical Latin, it's where they came up with this ratio. They're coming in from the ether and agreeing with us. But then at the same time, we just have this amazing symmetry that I'm about to show you. 37's prime number is the 12th prime. The Phoenix angle is 73 if you type that into the Phi cipher, which is the inverse of 37. But its prime number is also the inverse of 37's prime. So it's 12 and 21. Now that is pi is 12 and phi is 21. And so 12 and 21 is 33. So what I think just came through here, at least for me, hitting that 33 by connecting both of these together, is that this angle does have a dualistic nature to it. That there can be an unexpected misstep, a pattern break that comes for you rather than you deciding to do it. It's almost like it's coded in there for you so that you can change your reality. It's as if it gives you an opportunity through the coding, through the geometry, through the angles, through the mysticism, to break something so that you can start something over. And perhaps if you know it's coming, if you can anticipate it and work with it, then maybe calling it the golden phoenix angle is the right way to go. So maybe if you are not expecting the phoenix angle, it can come out of nowhere. But if you have it, if you're aware of it, you can use it as almost a code break in your reality to change something that you want to change. So I think that's pretty cool. So I think I'm going to go with the golden phoenix angle. If you guys disagree, let me know. I really like the golden phoenix. I think that will work. That way we can all refer to it the same way. So let me just wrap this up and I'll take some questions if you guys have any. The sun conjunct Uranus in Taurus. That's the first thing that we talked about. And this is the fusion of solar identity and cosmic awakening. This is happening right around the Pleiades in Alcyon, which is a stellar transmitter of memory, feminine intelligence, and cosmic code.
Taurus brings embodiment of this, and the Pleiades brings the remembrance. So we're going to be asked to take these cosmic codes into our physical embodiment. Then we have that moon in Sagittarius at the 137th degrees to the sun, the golden phoenix angle. It's the spiral of cosmic growth, right? And unfolding, oddly enough, on the 137th day of the year, the 33rd prime. It's literally like the quantum constant is being played out in this day just by the numerology of the day and the angles it makes. So there's an emotional truth that's being released here, and it's all about sacred timing and initiating a resurrection. Oh, I forgot to show you guys this in the chart. There was a grand Earth trine. Let me go back, actually. I got so excited about this code, I didn't show you the chart. Right here. Do y'all see this? We have South Node and North Node. And then we've got a grand trine between Pluto, Moon, Sun, Uranus, South Node. Okay, so there's this grand trine here. This is a cosmic flow. This is cosmic destiny. There's nothing you can do about it. And it's part of a longer standing trine between Pluto, Uranus, and the South Node. So Sun and Moon are just participating in it. It's already there. And Sun and Moon are going, hey, we are here. We're coming to the party. Because it also forms this grand kite where the apex of it is the North Node and then the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. So we got all these outer planets creating this supportive cosmic kite for us to just crack the code and go flying straight into mystic wisdom right here. It's guiding the soul through surrender into higher timelines. So this could be a timeline jump portal as well. Earth grounds the awakening and water channels it upward. So I don't know, maybe the beach is a good place to be this weekend. We might do that. And then, of course, we have, so sorry for not showing y'all that. That's why we have key points, so we can remember what we were going to talk about. So that forms the kite. That's an Earth trine. Again, pulling those cosmic codes down into the Earth. Venus clearing retrograde shadow at 21 degrees of Pisces. So this is 55 days, which is a Fibonacci number. 21 is also a Fibonacci number. This is completing the completing the underworld journey of love, creativity, and divine values, where everything's reclaimed and the loop is finally closed. And then we have Black Moon Lilith opposing Sun and Uranus. And this is the untamed feminine standing as a sovereign witness, challenging false harmony and demanding radical truth. Okay. And then everything being connected literally through Phi, Pi, 33, the golden angle. This convergence is pretty stunning for it to literally just happen on the calendar as well. So the Phoenix Day is a spiral gate. This is a portal. This could be a timeline jump. This could be a quantum jump. This could be, a chance to finally connect with your Pleiadian ancestry. It's just a beautiful time to really tap into how the body feels about what cosmic downloads we are getting. So here are your sources. You can go to decoded.co and get the ciphers. Shout out to Logan of Decode Your Reality and Jordan with Waters Above Crypto creating that site. It's free. It's got hundreds of ciphers in it. You can play in it for hours and you'll never get bored. I promise you. CosmicSugar.org if you want to know more about numerology and Logan's work. And then Number Empire and Subidium to play with the numbers. Royal Society of Chemistry and ChemSpeller for the elements. The software I use is Capricorn Prometheus. And of course, what inspires me to do all of this is Source. It inspires me. It moves me. Why else would I do this? Because this fascinates me. And when I see connections across disciplines, across the cosmos, across the sky, I really feel like I just need to let other people see it as well as I can. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let's see how y'all thought of that. Let's see. All right. Dr. Juan said, and the time is 23:07. Second Fitness says, thank you, Doctor. Love, chat, peace. Love you too. Dr. Juan has 37% on the battery. I know when you do one of these decodes and then you watch it, like the numbers just pop out, on license plates or on clocks or on the microwave. It's crazy. It's so crazy. Let's see. I think Dr. Juan likes the golden phoenix angle, GPA for short, a permutation of gap, therefore a window. Ooh, I like that. Tracy's there. Hi.
Lori says golden phoenix angle as well. Okay, I think that we are all kind of coming to a consensus that the golden phoenix angle is appropriate. I think there is a duality to it. I think one of them, like I think from new moon to first angle is nice. I feel like that was a good day. The 8th was a good day. The last time it happened on the 16th of April was not a good day. So it may be that there's like this challenge and then there's this reward. There's some kind of duality to it. So golden phoenix, I like that. All right, let's see. Another vote for golden phoenix. Magic 555. Look Up says this is going all over my Jupiter in 7th house Taurus. Yeah, it's going all over my south node, all over my K2. Let's see. Diana Allen says, yes, breaking free. All right, let's see if there's any questions. Elizabeth Ann says electric shock is an understatement, 100%. Yeah, I think some people have already messaged me about some things that are kind of popping off already for them based on this Uranus energy. So, when we talk about the orbs of planetary aspects, when you have we have a full moon coming, okay? So when that aspect is perfect, when sun and moon are exactly 180 degrees apart from each other, that is the perfection of that aspect. And so as the moon moves, it either approaches or departs that aspect. So where was I going with this? But so as the sun is approaching Uranus, as it gets closer and closer and closer, the energy builds and builds and builds and builds and builds until their conjunction perfects on the 17th, and then the sun goes over, and then that energy begins to depart. And so we're feeling that build. We're feeling that build we felt it with the full moon, and now we're feeling it as we approach the Phoenix portal, which is the 16th and the 17th of May. So let's see if there's any other thoughts. Christine's name is 29 in Chaldean, and copper is the 29th element. Yes. Heartlight Therapy says, what an amazing and powerful portal. Thank you for this decode. My pleasure. I actually don't have a choice. Like, I just start looking at it and stuff starts coming up, and I have to literally do it. So, sorry about that little faux pas with my PowerPoint earlier. We got it fixed. It was just patient. It was just patience. Oh, Tracy, you're welcome. Yeah, what an honor. I don't have it on my website, but I do have the link. It's the new baby life journey. So that life journey we've been talking about that starts in Scorpio and ends in Ophiuchus. I do that for newborns. There's other techniques you can use, timing techniques where you can, look at someone's milestones and things like that. And I think it's such a good idea. I might actually put that link up, because if you're going to have a new human, a new soul in your family, in your life, wouldn't it be nice to kind of know how to guide them along? Because isn't that all you want to do? You just want to guide them to their highest path in life. And so if you knew how to ask them to do things, if you knew how to get them to clean their room, if you knew how to get them to study or how to get them to shine creatively, wouldn't you do that? And I think these readings can help with that. So I may do that. I got a lot going on right now though, guys, but we'll see. So let's see. I think I have one announcement. We might be live one more time before next weekend. But after next weekend, I'm going to be going away for a couple of weeks. So we might be doing road vlogs. And I don't know what we're going to talk about. Or I might just sneak a video in the hotel room. I'm going to bring my webcam, and I got a new microphone, a portable microphone. So I might be doing that while we are on the road. We're going to the desert to see the canyons and check out, just beautiful skies. We're timing it right as the new moon is perfecting, so we won't have a lot of light pollution from the moon. I expect to see the Milky Way galaxy. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. So that's happening. But on the 24th, you guys, I am doing a live 13 sign astrology primer
for a local yoga studio, for Soma Yoga Studio. And I'm going to post the information for that. Let me know if you guys are interested in this. This is an idea I'm kicking around in my head. I totally don't have to do it because it would just make my life more complicated. But if you are interested, I am going to make a video of it. My intention was to create it and then post it so that you guys had something that you could use to show people, to introduce them to 13 sign astrology. But maybe also for those of you that are in Stellar Foundations, that are members of this channel, that have done the membership, to invite you to be part of that as part of the Zoom call. So so it wouldn't be for everybody. It would be for those of you that are just kind of in my programs, in my orbit. That way you can be part of the live experience through the Zoom. We'd have to mute all your microphones and you could just listen, but we will have a Q&A towards the end and I can have somebody monitor that and just shout out to me your questions. So if you want to do that, I can do that. I don't think it would be that hard. I'm going to record it anyway on Zoom through the computer. So it wouldn't be that big of a deal for me to like invite people into the call and, hit record. So if you guys want to do that, just let me know. Just let me know. All right, cool. Yeah. So I'll be doing that. So if you guys are interested, let me know, email me. If I get a few people that are interested, then I will set that up and show you all how to sign up with me. Ultimus says, I'd be exhausted having your brain, doctor, astrologer, decoding, and then all the other stuff. How are you not sitting in the corner drooling? Well, sometimes I catch myself doing that. Oh, that's hilarious. All right. Yeah. Tracy's interested. Okay, cool. So if you guys want to get in on that, yeah, let me think about that. If more people are like, yes, I want to do it. I want to be part of that. It'll be next Saturday at 3 p.m. my time. So Saturday the 24th at 3 p.m. If you guys are available and you're interested, for those of you in Stellar Foundations and those of you that are the channel members, I can get you that information. You guys can join us if you want to ask the questions. That way you'll see like real time how I just kind of touch little souls one by one, light you up. That's what I'm trying to do. So I'm super excited to go, and I'm going to do yoga with them afterwards. That won't be on the video though. All right, you guys, I'm going to have some dinner and then I'm going to pass out because I have to work tomorrow and Saturday. So I'll see you guys probably Sunday with a live stream video or maybe a video. I'm not sure yet. I have to see what comes. So I love you all so much. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you all and I will see you next time. Let's go ahead and do a little book commercial to end this stream. You guys.